Sure, let's do
You
this.
don't like that? All right, let's start with who you are and your title.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah,
necessarily
yeah.
going to
I
use
am Bill
that.
Martin. I'm the director of the Valentine.
One of the things I've always really appreciated about the way in which the Valentine History Makers project is structured is that the nominees come from community. It's not from the lens of the institution. I think that Bill and the Valentine understood that the lens can only be but so wide. And so to advocate for a community, you have to actually invite community in. So opening up the nominations to the region and allowing people to talk about the folks who have actually impacted their lives in a real way is a game changer. And so I think that that speaks volumes about the Valentines as an institution and Bill's vision.
The award was always recognizing the people that were behind the scenes. And so it was a huge honor for me to receive it because it's always a who's who that you really don't know that have really made tremendous contributions to the destination, to the quality of life, all different aspects, of course, different categories. But it's just a real honor first to be here to just address that, to address Bill, and to address the winners today.
With History Makers, I have the pleasure of kind of seeing it from two sides. So I'm also on the Public Awareness Committee for the Valentine. So even before I was ever thought to be awarded for anything, I got to be in rooms where I could hear Bill's vision and passion for the project. I got to experience his generosity as a friend and community partner, but then to see it as a recipient of this award that meant so much to him and this institution just felt, I felt a new level of warmth and grace and excitement from him to be able to celebrate the people in Richmond who are making Richmond what it is.
So my Richmond History Makers experience was wonderful. The award really spoke to all that I got to do in 2020, starting the Mending Walls project and helping the city kind of give a platform for the city to actually talk about what was going on during that time. Bill was so encouraging and always had a really good word for me. And even in spaces that I didn't think I would be so comfortable, he just made me very comfortable. He was always a friend in those spaces. And so Bill just encouraged and motivated and even inspired my work.
He did uplift the voices of everyone. He made this place accessible to all people because, you know, museums are not always places where people want to go because they think, oh, geez, I can't go there. But he made this museum the place for everyone to feel like they were part of Richmond's story.
Bill, in many ways, is quintessential Richmond. You know, it's hard to engage in Richmond, encounter Richmond, whether you are a visitor, whether you're a citizen, or whether you're someone doing work in community and not know about the Valentine and know about Bill.
I mean, he lived it, breathed it 24/7, 365 days of the year. That's what he did.
Bill was kind of a gate opener, and he also linked many people together. So there are so many people in Richmond that are trying to do great things, and Bill has been the connection for a lot of those things over time. And so I think that Bill's time here at Valentine also shaped the way Richmond is moving now and the way it's going to move in the future.
I think that Bill understood that Richmond is an actual ecosystem and what it meant to fuel it and feed it and hold it.
What he said was, you can't do history sitting on the sideline. And I think that is a perfect statement from him. He was always everywhere, you know, and he was passionate about everyone's story, and he listened so carefully. And he was consistent. Consistently present is such an important part of what we do in community engagement. If people don't see you again after once, they don't know whether you're as invested in their stories. Bill was always invested.
He was omnipresent at all of these wonderful things. And I thought I was good, but he was absolutely every single one and then some.
I used to always tease him. I'm like, oh, you're the Wiggler, because he knew how to like show up at 5 events in a night, you know? And it was really quite remarkable, but he understood the importance of figuring out a strategy to have his face in the place. He would call and see how he could help. I've had him volunteer for my events before, and he was a board member for Africana as well, which was really lovely. He didn't have to do that. I know so many people tap Bill to be there, and he chose to show up and be consistent and be a good community partner and be a good friend.
I think Bill used the Richmond History Makers Award to inspire Richmond and also remind us that we're making history right now. We often look back into history as this sacred time or these events that have taken place that have shaped Richmond. And that's also very true, but we're also doing the same thing right now. And so I think having this award be such a thing and such a monumental kind of staple in Richmond lets people know how important history is and the present as well in shaping what Richmond looks like tomorrow.
What I hope is that we learn the lessons of his legacy, not just through the institution that he helped to grow, but the way in which he did it. You know, it's really not the what, it's the how. And there was something in his how that was special, that touched people in different corners of this city. The outpouring of love, respect, and appreciation for him that poured out over the last few months has been quite remarkable. And from just different spaces that aren't necessarily connected, but he was the point of connection. And so I hope that we can understand the how in that, and that with that, as the History Makers continues to evolve and grow, that it keeps that as its foundation and its North Star as it continues to move forward.
But we'll miss.